I am divorcing an adult like you, my husband shouted over the phone just as I returned from a business trip. I have put up with all kinds of things until now, but this is the breaking point. If you do not want a divorce, come apologize right now. Understood? Yes, I understand. However, instead of heading to where my husband was at my in-laws, I went to a different place. My name is Stella. I am 28 years old. I married Maurice, who is 2 years older, 3 years ago. Little did everyone know, he is the son of the next CEO at my workplace. Initially, I worked at a different company but took the opportunity to switch jobs when we got married. Ever since, I have been working hard as an employee at his company, preparing to be the next CEO's wife. Although he was reluctant about us working at the same company, it could not be helped due to his father, the current CEO's orders. My job is hectic, and long business trips are the norm. It is not exactly the right atmosphere to leisurely try for a baby. Lately, our relationship has not been the best. In fact, it has deteriorated. Being too busy, we would inevitably get into arguments over trivial matters. Just the other day, Maurice yelled at me just as he was about to leave. "Hey Stella, why didn't you wake me up at the time I told you to?" "I did try to wake you up several times, but you yelled, 'I'll get up by myself, don't call me,' so I was just preparing breakfast." "What? I never said that." "Stop lying. I'm not lying. I tried at least 20 times, and your alarm was going off the whole time." "What if I'm late? My dad is going to be angry again. Why do I have to be yelled at for his inability to wake up on time?" Initially, I tolerated his unreasonable scolding, but I could not hold back any longer. This led to another argument and the decision to get a divorce, just a few days ago. Although his parents intervened at that time, preventing things from escalating, I was gradually getting fed up with him bringing up divorce at every small argument. One day, as I was preparing for a business trip, Maurice spoke up, looking rather irritated. "Hey Stella, you're going on a trip again?" Apparently disliking my business trips, he always mocks it as trips. Fed up, I retorted, "It's not a vacation, it's a business trip. Why do you always make me repeat this? Neglecting household chores and enjoying constant trips must be nice. You plan to just have fun sightseeing, don't you? Listen, knock it off. This is work for your company, you know? Why can't you just admit that it's a business trip? A newbie employee at your level going on business trips won't be of any help. It's basically like a vacation, right? What is it with you always? Can't you distinguish between a vacation and a business trip? Well, it's the truth, isn't it? You say I'm pushing household chores onto you, but you've never taken care of anything at home even once when I was away. Whenever I am not around, he always orders takeout, piles up laundry, and doesn't even take out the trash. His attitude, despite doing nothing, really builds up my stress. The divorce uproar last time originated from his personality too. Even though we both spend the same amount of time at work with dual incomes, all the household chores are left to me. Furthermore, I can't bear him acting all high and mighty and playing the domineering husband role. Attempts at discussions were futile as he never admits to any fault. On the contrary, he only kept blaming me. While I was silently preparing for the business trip, Maurice yelled again. The wife of the next CEO shouldn't be going on business trips so carefree. If you don't stand tall like me, other employees will take advantage of you. It's precisely because I am going to be the future CEO's wife, right? I need to learn the job and meet various clients. That's why I'm working so hard like this. First of all, the reason we can live this good life is because I am the son of the CEO. Okay? You should be more obedient and listen to me since it's all thanks to me. What are you saying? The company is doing well because of the hard work of the employees, right? Instead of bragging about being the CEO's son, you should work more. Diligently. At that, he turned red and yelled, "What did you say?" "What do you mean by working diligently?" "The other day, other employees were gossiping, you know? They said you always push overtime and troublesome tasks onto others, and you're always complaining." "What? Who said that?" "I'll fire them immediately." "See? How can you not realize that you're putting a stain on your father-in-law's reputation, even though you're at fault?" He opened his eyes wide in anger, as if he had snapped, and pulled my bangs harshly. "You don't get carried away. In the first place, Who do you think is the reason you're able to work at this prestigious company, huh? It hurts. Let go. The only reason you can work at a top-tier company is because you married me. Got it? You better not accept the business trip. I won't allow you to neglect home responsibilities for a business trip. It's for work. I've told you multiple times. Shut up. Don't backtalk. Since you married me, you should just quietly listen to what I say. Suddenly releasing his grip on my hair, I stumbled and fell on my behind. If the argument continued any further, it might escalate to divorce drama again. I forcibly kicked him out of the room and started preparing for the business trip. When I returned, I'll have to take care of the week's worth of household chores he has piled up. I bet the clothes are scattered all over the floor again, and the trash hasn't been taken out. Thinking about it made me feel tired even before leaving for the business trip. The next day, I headed for the business trip as planned. I wouldn't let personal feelings interfere with my work and diligently carried out my tasks. When I returned home a week later, an unbelievable scene awaited me. I'm Holmesa. As far as I could see, the house was spotless, not a speck of dust to be found. It almost hadn't changed since the day I left for the business trip. I was relieved. Maurice finally understood how I felt. He must have had a change of heart and worked hard to clean the house. My relief was short-lived when I found the completed divorce papers on the kitchen counter. Papers on the table. What? What is this? Next to it was a note saying, I'm going back to my parents' house. We're getting a divorce. I quickly called Maurice, who answered promptly. Hey, have you filled out the divorce papers? With his smug tone, I raged at him. Wait, are you seriously considering divorce? Obviously, right? Well, I guess you'd be in trouble if I divorced you, huh? So don't just talk about divorce so easily, okay? Then he began to arrogantly lay out conditions. If you say so, if you listen to what I say and don't neglect the household chores, I might reconsider the divorce. Of course, no more business trips. What? I've told you it's not a vacation. Hey, are you talking back? Then I'll divorce you, a pathetic person like you. Pathetic? He called me pathetic. Even though he can't do a single thing around the house himself. If he's going that way, then so will I. All right? If you don't want to be divorced, come apologize now. Got it? Holding back the urge to shout back, I responded calmly. Yeah, I understand. From the beginning, you should have just done as you were told. Now come quickly. With that, he hung up the phone. I left the house, but instead of going to Maurice's parents' place, I headed to the city hall. Of course, to file for divorce. The papers were accepted without a hitch, and I was officially single again. 3 hours later, while I was packing at home, Maurice, losing patience because I hadn't come to apologize, returned with his mother. As soon as they saw me, they started berating me with foul language. Hey, how long are you going to make us wait? Yeah, despite being a useless wife, it seems you've been lazing around. You should properly look after Maurice. Lazing around. You should properly look after Maurice. Look after? How old is he? He's older than me, isn't he? Responding like that, the two of them frowned in anger. Shut up! Stop being stubborn and apologize quickly. We are seriously considering divorce. The one who would be in trouble if divorced is you, Stella, you know? You could have been the wife of the future company president, but is it all right to keep this attitude? Huh. So what, you, huh? If you divorce me, you won't be able to live this luxurious lifestyle anymore. Understand? Still okay with it? Well, I always thought you weren't a match for Maurice, so I don't really mind. In a state of disbelief, I lost my words while Maurice flashed a devilish grin at me. You got it? This is your last chance. If you don't apologize now, we're getting divorced. I will even kick you out of the company. Make up your mind quickly. At that moment, anger surged through me like a ball of fire. I decided to spell it out clearly for him, who seemed unaware of the situation. We're already divorced, you know? Huh? I filed the divorce papers as per your demand, and it's already been approved. Meaning, I'm not your wife anymore. What? He and his mom stood there with their mouths hanging open. After a prolonged silence, he managed to squeeze out some words. What are you talking about? It's a lie, right? There's no way you could. Why would I lie? If you want, check the records yourself. No, no way. Then, his mother, who had been listening from the side, began to yell. Hey, Stella? What have you done? Giving a divorce to Maurice, the next president. Your son was the one who first thrust the divorce papers at me. I just filed them. Don't make excuses. Cancel the divorce right now. I'm afraid that's not possible. Once the divorce papers are accepted, they cannot be withdrawn. And besides, I have no intention of doing so. What? His speechless mother and the crestfallen Maurice. Ignoring both of them, I spat out my frustration. I've had enough of juggling household chores and work daily and being mocked every time I go on a business trip. To me now, you're nothing more than a burden. Stella, calm down. I'm perfectly calm. Our marriage was just a facade. You're only concerned about yourself, aren't you? No, that was not my intention. You realize you will lose the position of a president's wife, right? Are you okay with that? I didn't join your company to become the president's wife. I don't know how spoiled you've been till now, but I didn't marry you to take care of you. You can just throw away this life. If you bear it a little longer, you will be the president's wife. I absolutely refuse to continue being your caretaker any longer. I am not your mommy. Live your life however you want. With an unprecedented spirit, he was completely teary-eyed. In his place, his mother, though stuttering, threw out a final provocation. Hey, Stella, do you understand? What? If you divorce Maurice, you'll be fired from the company. So what? I've already informed your father that I am quitting the company. Both he and his mother-in-law opened their eyes wide in unison. To verify the truth, Maurice began to call his father. After a few rings, his father picked up, and Maurice turned on the speaker to speak. Dad, listen to me. Stella has filed for divorce on her own accord. Yeah, I heard. She said she's quitting her job too. She's really selfish and the worst person, right? Fire her immediately using your presidential authority. Yeah, I have to fire and kick someone out soon. Yes, wait, what? Replacing the frozen Maurice, the mother-in-law approached. What do you mean? She demanded from her husband. It doesn't need an explanation. You are nothing but trouble, rather than contributing to the company. I'm utterly disappointed in your performance. Hey, you! How can you suddenly do this to Maurice? Shut up, his father sternly rebuked him. Maurice, your work performance is poor. You use company resources without permission. You even try to lay hands on female employees. And you complain about the company cafeteria. Honestly, you're no good. Did you think they didn't know that your subordinates call you incompetent? No, that can't be. No matter that you're my son, I can't cover for you anymore. Do you understand, right? Being the president's son doesn't give you the privilege to take it easy in the company. But even so, firing me is... The only thing you've done well is marrying a good, competent wife. Stella will continue with the company. Instead, you're fired, Maurice. At his father's words, he was dumbstruck with wide-open eyes. His father continued calmly. Unlike you, Stella is meticulous at her job and lands contracts left and right. She is well received by our clients. Actually, there are many companies that have contracted with us because of Stella. But she was just burdened with business trips since she was new. That's not true. I trusted Stella and had her go on business trips frequently. And you belittled her efforts, calling them vacations and such, didn't you? No, that's not true. Let me tell you, you don't have a home to come back to. Do you hear me? Unless you learn to stand on your own 2 feet, don't even think about coming back. Got it? No, not like this. And so, Maurice was abandoned by his father, losing his job and finding himself unable to return to his family home. His mother tried to defend him, but apparently ended up receiving a divorce notice with the accusations that it's because you spoil him too much. The two used up their scant savings to start living in an apartment, but they've been unable to find work, and it seems the state of unemployment is persisting for quite a while. Maurice still sends messages frequently. Stella, I was wrong. I promise I won't belittle you anymore. I just want you to come back. I promise I'll take care of myself. Let's reconcile. I can't take it anymore. Please help me. Being too persistent, she finally blocked his number. Now, she probably won't have to deal with that mama's boy ever again. As for me, I am still working diligently under the guidance of his father, who is the CEO. I now have subordinates and am enjoying my fulfilling daily life. It's truly a blessing that his father is a considerate and understanding boss. From now on, I want to strive towards my goals without being shackled by meaningless family relations. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. If you resonated with the content, please leave a positive rating and a comment.